Week 6 of the NFL season has come and gone, and parity is alive and well. We have no idea which teams are good, which teams are bad, which teams are playoff bound, and which teams are hoping for the number one overall pick. We're going to be overreacting to some Week 6 games and previewing some primetime matchups for Week 7. All that and more coming up on the Gridiron segment. Welcome back into the Gridiron segment, everybody. My name is Kyle. I am joined, of course, by Justin. We are going to be talking about all things NFL football. Week 6 was a crazy one in that we left with more questions than we went into the week with. We're going to get into all that, but before we do, we've got to shout out our amazing sponsor on this episode. You know it's Vivid Seats. You can see that right underneath my name. The best ticket buying platform on the market. I was talking about a concert that I just went to because of Vivid Seats. I got to meet the freaking band. It was awesome. They are the greatest ticket buying platform on the market. Guaranteed seats, ticket insurance, ridiculous prices. And if you use the link in our description, you're going to save yourself even more money. So go get yourself to a live event, sporting, music, comedy, you name it. They are providing tickets for it, and go sit vividly. Now, let's get right into the week that was. And I feel as though we've got to bookend this. And what better way to start our recap of the week that was than the first game of the week that was, Thursday Night Football, going down between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. The prevailing thought going into this was, if the Eagles can remember who they are, it's going to be a bad night for the Giants. And it doesn't seem like that was the case at all. It was a beatdown. It didn't really feel like the Eagles had a chance in that game, which was a little nuts to me. Justin, the floor is yours.
Oh, man. You've seen it in the group chat, in our Discord. I have been so excited ever since this game went down on Thursday night. The atmosphere in MetLife was so energetic over there that I regret I didn't buy tickets using Vivid Seats, and all promo code down in the description. But enough with the self promo. We got to talk about this game. This was a game of who wanted more versus who actually needed it more. And what I mean by that is that the Philadelphia Eagles just came off of a heartbreaking loss to the Denver Broncos. And to probably Philadelphia, to Jalen Hurts, to Saquon Barkley, to everybody in the NFL circle, this was supposed to be their get-right game. They always beat up on the Giants. The Giants have only beaten them one time in a game that actually mattered. And the Giants have lost in, Thursday night games for the last 15 years.
Oh,
so everything was on the table for Philadelphia to actually win. But you know what they did not do? Run the ball effectively. They ran it 2 times. The first 2 plays, they got over 30 yards with Saquon Barkley. Congratulations. You got like 20-something yards for the rest of the game after that. The Giants did what we expected them to do on defense. And that was to cause havoc on the line, stop the run, and play decent in the pass game. Now, did they almost let up a 90-something yard touchdown to Devontae Smith? Yes. Thank God Jalen Hurts rushed the throw and just flat out sailed it. But you know what we got to talk about? We got to talk about that offense. We got to talk about that youthful ignorance that is going on in the backfield between Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo, who is starting to be the darlings of the NFL, because there's nowhere you could check out ESPN, Fox Sports, NFL Network, where you did not hear one, if not both of their names over the last 5 days. Why? Because they've created a sense of excitement here in MetLife that is just unnatural to us Giants fans, especially over the last decade. You got Jackson Dart here giving Patrick Mahomes' level of escape artistry from the pocket, being able to avoid rushers and create plays, whether he's running the ball, whether he's still looking downfield. You got Cam Scatterbo absolutely trucking that Philadelphia defense. Zach Bond is an all-pro middle linebacker from last year, and he got sent flying 5 yards. Cooper DeJean, Reed Blankenship, didn't want nothing to do with him. He ran over both of them. Adoree Jackson didn't want nothing to do with him. He made a business decision and said, I'm going to give you this little shoulder, but I ain't going to wrap up. I'm not trying to deal with him. SKAT goes for 3 touchdowns. Jackson Dart, 2 touchdowns. One on the run, 1 passing. It was just like such a perfect game all around. Offense, defense, special teams. And you know what else? Like what I was going to say? Oh, that was going to say. We had no wide receivers.
No, none.
Our best receiver was Lil Jordan Humphreys.
Oh, God.
So you know what? Shout out the O-line. Y'all did y'all job perfectly. But for the Philadelphia Eagles, I will say this because I know I'm going on a rant right now. This is what I mentioned last week when we were on this show. I'm sad Tonio couldn't be here so we could rub it in his face because you and I both called this game in the Giants' favor.
I was like,
but
give me the Giants.
The free fall is coming because we will talk about their next game. Their next game is against Minnesota. And then the game after that is against the Giants once again. And they're dealing with Jalen Carter with a heel issue. They don't got, I think it's Landon Dickerson, whoever their offensive lineman is that's injured, their guard.
Gosh. Yeah, that's Landon Dickerson.
Yeah. Quinn Mitchell is out with a hamstring injury, which could be several weeks. And your offense is not producing. So it's looking like a sad day for the Philadelphia Eagles. And with the way that this week has gone, let me finish it with this, and I'll send it right back to you. The Giants are still in it for the NFC East. The Philadelphia Eagles look like they're on the decline. Dallas can't stop anybody on defense. And the Washington Commanders didn't look like the Commanders last night. And we'll talk about that as well. This division is wide open.
It's exciting.
I love it.
The NFC East is completely wide open right now. I love it. I really want to focus in on Cam Skattebo for just a second because that guy, number one, should have been a Chicago Bear. Ryan Poles, you're an idiot for not drafting Cam Skattebo. I am very happy with Luther Burden. I will say I'm very happy with Luther Burden. But I digress. That guy just has this old school football mentality of this is a contact sport. So if I run through you and you can't get me down, I'm going to win. And it's working in the most beautiful way. And you got 2 unequivocal stars in New York out of this draft between Skattebo and Jackson Dart. Because like you said, Jackson Dart, really, really insane pocket awareness and mobility. Like that was special. And that frustrates defensive lines so much because they're running all over the field for nothing. That is hugely demoralizing for a defensive line to have to deal with. And keep an eye on those Giants for the NFC East. Keep an eye on those Giants.
Not just for the division, but I'm going to give a hot take right here. With the way that Jackson Dart and Cam Skattebo are playing, if this continues throughout the season, don't be surprised if one, if not both of them, are in the running for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Because if you look at Cam Skattebo's stats, he is on pace right now for almost 1,400 yards from scrimmage and 14 total touchdowns. That's nice. Based off of his stats right now. He has about 500 yards from scrimmage and 5 touchdowns already. Omarion Hampton, as great as he is, does not have that.
He also has no offensive line to run behind.
The only reason I say nominated and not winning Offensive Rookie of the Year is because Emeka Egbuka, I know he's going through an injury right now, is playing insane. And I feel like he's right now the leader for Rookie of the Year. But we all know quarterbacks get a little bit more favoritism for these awards. So that's why I say Jackson Dart may have a good chance at it. Right now, it's looking a little grim because he doesn't throw the ball nearly as much. He's on track right now for about 1,400 yards passing, 11 touchdowns. And that's not even counting his potential rushing stats that he can get.
The rushing upside with Jackson Dart and the off-schedule upside with Jackson Dart, because like when the play breaks down and it starts to become a little bit of backyard football, it's really exciting. It's must-see TV. And the Offensive Rookie of the Year race is very interesting this year because, like you said, I don't think there's necessarily going to be these gaudy passing numbers out of Jackson Dart. That's not what you need him to do. But it's such a like Cam Ward is not going to win Rookie of the Year, and we're going to talk about why in a second. But it is not a whole lot besides a Mikabuka. There's not a lot in the way for those two, is what I should say.
Yep.
Any last thoughts on the Giants before we talk a little bit of Tennessee?
Oh, man. Last thing I got to say about the Giants, we have a tough game against the Denver Broncos on Sunday. I know I'm going to be paying attention to it. You're in the Denver area. You're going to
It's going to be on my TV. I got no choice.
So all I'm going to say is this. I've seen Denver's game against the Jets. They played horribly on offense. So if there is any chance we have, it's running the ball, quick throws, which guess what? Our two rookies do those two things best. And on defense, just smother them. It's going to be a low-scoring affair, but we have a chance.
Like, that's the biggest thing. The key to winning that for the Giants is containing J.K. Dobbins rushing. If they can do that, which is not hard to do, sorry, it's not. If they can do that, that really limits what Bo Nix is able to do at the quarterback position. Like, he is really, really reliant on having play action, having a run game to open up the short passing game that he does so well. He's still a very good quarterback. There's just a very specific way that he plays the position. If you take away the running game, because they don't have an all-world talent at running back. I'm sorry. They have J.K. Dobbins, and R.J. Harvey looks kind of nice. I don't know. That's about it. So that's a really interesting game coming up in the next week. But we got to focus on the week that was. And there is a head coach firing already. 6 weeks in. Brian Callahan is no longer the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. I have no idea who's stepping in for the interim right now. It's bad. It is really bad in Tennessee. There have been so many horrible managerial decisions going back to firing Mike Vrabel, the carousel of general managers and head coaches. It's been really, really bad, but nothing is worse than if you look at some of the talent that has gone out of the door of the Titans, and especially how much great things they've gone on to do, i.e. Derrick Henry, i.e. A.J. Brown. Is this a clear Woody Johnson, like Jerry Jones, the ownership is the issue here?
Yes, and I will tell you, first let me answer your question and I'll tell you why. Senior offensive assistant Mike McCoy will be taking over as interim head coach. If that name sounds familiar to anybody, that's because he was the head coach of the then San Diego Chargers from 2013 to 2016. That's who's stepping in, and Tennessee is giving him the opportunity to not just be an interim coach, but to earn his way to being the full-time head coach of this team. So that's interesting to see how that's going to turn out. Is this an issue with ownership? Yes. Why do I say that? Because of this. Guess how many head coaches and GMs that they've went through in the last 3 years?
4? No, that's what
3 of each.
No. Oh my.
3. According to ESPN, because I just listened to this morning.
So 6 total.
Up, they've gotten rid of 3 GMs and 3 head coaches over the last 3 years since 2022. When you have to go through that much turnover, and this is coming from a Giants fan, that tells you the issue is not the GMs. The issue is not the head coach. The issue is not a lack of talent. The issue is ownership. And I can tell you that because what kind of ownership decision was it to get rid of Mike Vrabel, someone who's brought y'all division success, brought y'all into the playoffs, and is now taking a New England Patriots team where outside of Drake May and Stephon Diggs, it's a who's who on the offense.
It's a no one who.
It's not a no one's who or who's who. They still have Travion Henderson, but outside of those 3, how many New England Patriots offensive players can you name? How
Will
many
Campbell.
defensive players? Will Campbell, you got it. How many defensive players can you relax? But they're overperforming expectation. Why? Because they have a coach in place. The ownership knows what they're doing, and there's a general manager that is actually competent in getting talent into the door. That's why we said last week, New England is on the come up of getting back to relevancy in the AFC East, if not further. But for Tennessee, it's a dark day, and I am so sorry for Cam Ward. First of all, probably should have been a New York Giant, but we've got the best quarterback in the draft, in my opinion. Anyways, but I feel bad for Cam Ward because this is the thing that we talk about with these young quarterbacks. Don't draft a young quarterback if you are going to plan on firing your coach. It not just at the end of their first season together, in 5 games, you should have stepped in and said, yo, we're trading back. Get rid of the number 1 overall pick. We're not taking a quarterback. We're not going to screw over a 22, 21, 23-year-old prospect just because we don't think that you're going to be our head coach for the long term. But they did not do that. Now Cam Ward has to go through another offensive coordinator. Maybe not because it's still an internal hire, but he has to go through a new system, new coach, like new everything all over. And likely we'll have to do it next season again because they're probably going to bring somebody from the outside.
Definitely should.
It's insane. And I think Drew Brees said it best. He said to really evaluate a quarterback, they need 50 quality starts between college and the NFL. Cam Ward has really only had, 1 real year in Miami? So we still don't know what we have in Cam Ward. It's going to take some time, but you're going to ruin his development through this.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the other thing. We'll talk about we'll talk about the JJ McCarthy of it all later because I want to talk about him as well when we're talking about young quarterbacks. With Tennessee, it feels like they're running their roster management, they're running their team. It feels like they're trying to do a get-rich-quick scheme, and every time it blows up in their face, they're doubling down even harder. And it's a little bit sad because there have been some really fun players that have gotten drafted by the Titans that I'm like, well, that's a shame because Peter Skoronski, I love that guy. And he got drafted by the Titans. And I was like, oh, that's a shame. Same with Treylon Burks. Now that guy's just like missing in action.
I didn't know he was still in the league.
Is he? I don't think he is anymore. I was so pumped about Treylon Burks coming out of college and then not a damn thing. And it's going to, honestly, you said it great. It's a dark day for Tennessee. It's only going to get darker, though, because they're going to have to play the Patriots, and Mike Vrabel's going to beat the snot out of his old team. That Patriots team is rolling. Their quarterback is, I'm sorry, Drake May might be in the MVP race by the end of the year. He's top 5 in passing right now.
He could be in the race. He could be in the race, but Baker Mayfield's still number 1 for that award.
It's Baker Mayfield's award to lose right now. And I hope the award givers and voters see it that way because we're seeing some excellent, excellent stuff off of Baker Mayfield. We're going to talk about Baker Mayfield in a second. Let's talk a little bit about a surprising team. The Atlanta Falcons are humming. They are just firing on all cylinders. Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier are holding it down in the backfield. You got Drake London just annihilating secondaries, and it's so fun to see. Like, this is high-powered offense. Granted, I like it because I have them on my fantasy team, but I have all 3 of those players on my fantasy team. And when I looked down and I saw it was 21-7 Falcons, I was like, oh, who have the 3 touchdowns? My 3 players. So I was pretty freaking thrilled. Not that surprised that the running attack was so effective for Atlanta, but surprised at what Drake London did to a pass defense that we thought going into this was very solid. They made up for a very bad run defense, always in Buffalo, but that was a shellacking that the Falcons dealt to the Bills. Justin, give me your thoughts on what used to be New York's only chance for a Super Bowl. I think you got it. I think you got something a little bit going on in your Giants locker room.
Yep. So I'm going to tell you 2 points. First, I'm going to get through the Atlanta Falcons on this. I tuned into the game for the first half because, Monday Night Football, there's the 7 p.m. game, which was this one. Then there was the 8 p.m. game, which was Chicago and Washington. That was the one I was more interested in. I watched Bijan Robinson absolutely cook the Buffalo Bills defense. I seen Michael Penix diagnose and just sling that thing. And I saw Drake London actually become the wide receiver that we thought he was going to be when he got drafted. Like everything for Atlanta just clicked. That is the offense that we thought Atlanta was going to be when Kirk Cousins was under center. And Atlanta's a very confusing team to me because they'll have a game like this and then they'll throw up an absolute stinker the next week. The good thing about it is that they play in the NFC South where all you really need is 6 wins to win a division unless you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Whoa, yeah, whoa.
I know. But that's always been the reputation of the NFC South. But
garbage division.
Let me get to the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills have kind of been the primetime example today, actually them and the Commanders, of a much bigger issue with various teams in the NFL. And that is if your offense is solely reliant on the talent of your quarterback, you're not going to make it far, especially this season. You've seen it with the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen. You've seen it with the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. You've seen it with the Commanders and Jaden Daniels. You've seen it with, matter of fact, you've seen what's going on in Cincinnati now that Joe Burrow's not playing. The theme of this season has been you need to build a full team. Like, they say football is the ultimate team sport, and that couldn't be any more true because you need to rely on so many different pieces to go right just for each side of the ball to actually play at or above average. And unfortunately, these teams that we all thought were juggernauts because they had elite quarterbacks are now starting to show their true colors. There's a reason why the Philadelphia Eagles last year won the Super Bowl, and that's because they had talent on both sides of the ball and didn't just rely on a quarterback.
No, that's the thing about elite quarterbacks. They come with elite price tags. And like, if you look back, I don't think there was ever a league year where Tom Brady was the highest paid quarterback. No. I don't think that ever happened.
No, because he knew. He said, I'd rather get paid less so you can build a team around me.
And truthfully, I love it. I love that football is football always finds its level, but in the more recent years, it's felt like quarterback or nothing. We have to have a franchise quarterback, and if it's not the guy that's going to elevate a terrible roster, which most can't, even a lot of like elite quarterbacks that we perceive to be elite cannot elevate a terrible roster to go to a Super Bowl. It's really, really, really rare.
Yep.
I love this. I love the shift that's happening of no, you need to build a complete team. And I think that the quarterback rehab trend or phenomena that's been happening between like Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, stuff like that has really shed a light on it of no, they were just thrust into truly, truly terrible situations. Anything else about the other Monday Night Football before we get to the Monday Night Football?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you something, or I'm gonna bring it up.
Yep.
The reason why I say you have to build a whole team and you can't just rely on your quarterback. Everybody's gonna look at Josh Allen and say, "Oh, it was his fault. He threw 2 interceptions." Blah, blah. Josh Allen threw for 180 yards and 2 touchdowns, also ran for an additional 42 yards. What's supposed to be his number one receiver when he got drafted, Keon Coleman, 6 targets, 3 catches for 11 yards. Dawson Knox, only 1 catch on 2 targets for 19 yards. Khalil Shakir, 3 catches, 33 yards. Josh Palmer actually balled out. He only had 2 targets, but he got 2 catches for 60 yards. they need wide receiver help on that team.
Bad.
Like badly. They need playmakers on that. You have the quarterback in place. You have the running back in place. You actually have a better than average offensive line, because I didn't see like that much pressure coming down. But it's the fact that they have no playmakers at the wide receiver position.
That offensive line has a great anchor with Deion Dawkins. But like you said, Josh Allen's basically by himself out there offensively. There's only so much that you can do with an elite running back. I love James Cook as much as the next guy. I love running football just in general. However, we still are in a passing league, and you need to have receivers that are going to get open. You need to have receivers that are going to be reliable and not drop the damn ball. And it really will. It completely can take the air out of a drive with the type of receiver play that the Bills have been getting. Speaking of taking the air out of a drive, there was about 6 distinct moments in the first half where I was watching my Chicago Bears and I was like, there is no way the Bears are going to win this game. Even when it was 13-0, I was like, there is no way the Bears will win this game. Fucking Jake Moody. Oh my God. And even despite the fact that it was raining, despite the fact that it was Washington and what happened with Washington last year completely derailing our season and that mental block, despite the fact that Jaden Daniels did kind of put the Bears defense on skates a little bit with the rushing. Like, our rushing defense still leaves a lot to be desired for my money. Jaden Daniels, also a very special talent. Despite that, the Bears still won. And I haven't even brought up the horrendous officiating that was happening all over the field. Starting off with the roughing the passer call, or lack thereof, that was called on Montez Sweat. The man was swatting at the ball. The man was swatting to try and deflect a pass. Incidental contact with Jaden Daniels' face mask. And it gets called for, it doesn't even call for face mask penalty. It gets called roughing the passer. I don't even know if there's a difference. They're both personal fouls. I digress.
Both of them are 15 yards and a first.
Oh, yeah. So tomato. But there was a moment where I was like, do the refs have the Washington Commanders payroll? Like, is that who's signing their checks? This is ridiculous. There was so many moments of like missed calls on the Commanders, phantom calls on the Bears, and I was like, that's not going to happen. And lo and behold, the Bears won. And this is definitely a type of feeling that Bears fans are not used to. That's the funniest thing I think I've seen this week, just throughout the last couple of days. No Bears fan knows how to function right now. They're like, I know what happened. I saw the clock hit 0, and yet I still cannot believe that it happened, because the Bears lose that game. Every other Bears team loses that game. Like Kyle Brandt said it the best, every other Bears team loses that game, but this one didn't. I'm not going to put a whole lot of stock in it, but it was very much a needed win if there was going to be any sort of like culture shift to really take root in Chicago. And I think that might be starting to show itself a little bit. The running attack, all of the sudden, and it's the Commanders. I know their defense is hit and miss, but the fact that the Bears went from having no running game to start the year to now DeAndre Swift is breaking off these 30, 40-yard runs, and the safeties have to respect it, and they have to play a little bit closer down towards the line to gain, as it were. Suddenly, this play action game opening up for Caleb Williams is showing, oh yeah, that's the guy we drafted number 1 overall. Exciting shit to see. I got to see more. I always want more. I'm like Ben Johnson. I just am unsatisfied with nothing but touchdowns on every single drive. And even then, I'm probably still going to be pissed off. Justin, the Bears have won a close game.
The Bears did me a favor. Look, this is the game that I wanted to watch, because just looking at the landscape of the NFC East, I said, if the Commanders lose, that means the Giants are the only team to have won in the division this week. And that means the race is wide open for the division, a division that no repeat champion has happened in decades. So I'm watching the game and I'm noticing a couple of things. Number one, you need to thank Mother Nature and the nor'easter that's happening, because it basically limited each team to like who can run the ball better. And by some miracle of Mother Nature, DeAndre Swift decided, I'm going to be that back. Do you understand that he averaged 7.7 yards per carry? Do you understand that he averaged 33 yards per catch on his 2 receptions? He was the entire Chicago Bears offense. I like Caleb Williams. I feel like I'm watching him grow and mature as this season takes place, but he does have to be more efficient in certain areas. I feel like the wide receivers also need to help him out. I saw a couple of catchable balls that went through hands, went through their bodies, did not get caught, didn't stretch for it. But you know what helped them besides DeAndre Swift? That Bears defense. That defense said, we're going to put the game on our back. Yes, we are going to give up points. They gave up 24 points to the Commanders. But you know what also they did? 3 takeaways. They took advantage of opportunities that were given to them. And I say given because that last fumble was because Jaden Daniels did not secure the ball before trying to hand it off. So
that one was like, okay, maybe the football gods saw everything that happened beforehand, and they were like, give them one. See what they do with it. Give them one.
Drama. And then take advantage of 2 fumbles, 1 interception that I was looking like, yo, you didn't see the defender, because that ball should have been thrown a little bit more touch. But we got to talk about the real savior of this game. Somebody who, I swear to God, if you haven't heard it once, twice, you heard it 25 freaking times during this game. Jake Moody, the former 3rd-round pick for the San Francisco 49ers. Yes, I heard it so many freaking times during this game. I was like,
the other thing was, it's his first day on the active roster. It's his first day on the. We know.
I get it, but you know what? He said, I heard the noise. I know the reputation. I know I got cut by the 49ers. So let me go on here and make, what was it, 4 of 5?
4 of 5, and hit his extra points.
And got the game-winning field goal as time expired, 3 seconds left. And when I tell you Mother Nature was hurling, like there was rain, wind, gusts left, right, center. Like the rain was going like this. That tells you how serious it was. And he was able to kick through that for the win. I think it was a great game. I think this was Ben Johnson's statement game. If you saw him like in the locker room after the game, he was hype.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the first time I thought I was going to see him smile. He didn't, but he's getting damn near close to.
I think we're going to see a smile around week 13. First smile off of Ben Johnson. Week 13.
Kyle, your Bears have won 3 straight games.
They did do that.
Like,
let's see what happens against New Orleans. I can't. It's the trauma of being a Chicago Bears fan, because the Chicago Bears were 4-2 last year.
True.
There was a moment where the Bears were 4-2 last year, and then they lost 11 games in a row. So,
very true.
I want to believe. I really do. I so want to believe, and I will eventually. I'm sure I'll lock in to the idea of, hey, maybe this time. I'm not even going to say it out loud. No, I'm not even going to say it out loud. Anything else you want to say about the week that was?
Like this whole week?
Anything.
Listen, I'm going to reiterate what I said. This week exposed that you can't build the team off of just the quarterback's talent. You need to be able to build a whole team. And that's the difference between a good GM and a bad GM. And right now we're seeing plenty of GMs that are about to get fired this season.
Oh yeah, big time. Because it's always fun, driving around the Ferrari. I'm talking about the flashy skill position player signings. But at the end of the day, if you want to get the whole crew to the destination, you need the minivan. And that is Penny Sewell. Truly, that's just, that's the best way I can describe it. You got to build from the ground up, not the quarterback down. It's simple. Let's talk a little bit about a team that probably should have drafted Penny Sewell. Thursday Night Football. There's a lot of weird just games that I look at some of them this upcoming week and I'm like, I feel like I know how that should go. We'll see how it will go. I don't know. This league year is so awesome for the fact that we don't know. And that's why we play the game on Sunday. And we're going to be playing a little game of Unk Still Got It on Thursday between Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers and Joe Flacco and the Bengals. Justin, who do you got for this one?
It's crazy. Like, I'm looking at this game. Pittsburgh, matchup predictor for ESPN, is slated 64% to win this game. 64.5%. Pittsburgh is 4-1 in the division. Yet Cincinnati at 2-4 is in second place. Can we just take a moment to realize what kind of twilight zone we are in, where the division that has Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Cleveland, Cincinnati's in second place at 2-4 with no Joe Burrow.
It's truly a god-awful division this year. I think the NFC took all of the northern energy from the AFC, and they're like, we're gonna be doing that. Actually,
it's truly awful. The crazy thing about it is I feel like this is Pittsburgh's trap game. Give me Cincinnati.
I love it. I was hoping you were going to say that because there is just something about Joe Flacco football. You don't know if it's going to be a win, but damn it, it's going to be a good time. Give me the Bengals. They're at home here, and I think that Pittsburgh plays exponentially better at home. They always do. They have a great home crowd. They have a great home field advantage. Cincinnati, like you said, this feels like a trap game because by all accounts, they should lose this. Pittsburgh has a better defense. Pittsburgh has a better offense. Pittsburgh probably has better special teams. Boswell still kicked. Is Boswell still kicking?
I think Boswell's still kicking.
Yeah, let's fucking go, Bos. I love it. Give me the Bengals, though. Give me the Bengals. Yeah, no, I'm sticking with it. It's just a vibes pick because that's the thing with this league year. You can't go off of logic. You can't. You cannot go off of logic in 2025 for your picks. You got to go off of vibes. Speaking of vibes, the vibes are weird off of both of these teams for the Eagles and Minnesota. Specifically,
it's the name.
Everything's fine. Stop asking. It feels more towards Kevin O'Connell, although it's going to be heating up in Philadelphia if they do not beat the Vikings because player-only meetings without the quarterback, no,
Well, apparently it didn't happen, according to AJ Brown.
Apparently it didn't happen?
Apparently it didn't happen. According to AJ Brown, now this is sarcastically, he doesn't recall any meeting. But then again, the reports are so confusing because one report said that the meeting was Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, Saquon Barkley. Then another report said it was all three of them plus Jalen Hurts. We don't know what's true when it comes to that.
And that's how you know there's drama. Like, truthfully, when there is not a clear answer coming out of any of the parties involved, that's how you know that there is something wrong. There is something amiss in Philadelphia. And there might be something amiss in Minnesota because J.J. McCarthy is back at practice as of 1 day ago. The time of this recording is Tuesday, October 14th. However, Kevin O'Connell has yet to name a starting quarterback for the game against the Eagles. Justin, do we have a quarterback controversy in Minnesota?
I wouldn't necessarily say we have a controversy because in order to have a controversy, there needs to be at least one quarterback with upside in this situation. I don't see the upside with either option. Carson Wentz is a veteran. He's a savvy vet. He's good to be the quarterback too. He's going into this game with an injury to his shoulder. He's questionable. JJ McCarthy has missed a couple games because that ankle injury. He's also questionable. I feel like Kevin O'Connell is at the point where he wants to put JJ McCarthy back out there, but he's also nervous about it because he's seen how JJ McCarthy has played outside of that 1 quarter of football in week 1. And you're going up against a Philadelphia Eagles that desperately needs a win. Their defense, we already talked about it, got chewed out by the Giants, by Scatterboo. You got an offense that just seems like they are cracking in front of our very eyes. So no matter who's the quarterback in this game, the Vikings are going to win, and I'm going to enjoy watching Philadelphia Eagles fans go absolutely bonkers. Why? Because the Minnesota Vikings have probably the best defensive coordinator this season in Brian Flores, and he's going to make sure he's going to run every type of zone blitz you could think of and make sure Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley does not win this game.
If Tennessee is smart, they will take a very good look at Brian Flores at the end of this year for the head coaching position. However, Tennessee is not smart, and Philadelphia is falling apart at the seams. Jordan Mason's going to have a hell of a day. Give me the Vikings. I think Philly's spiraling. I think if they can't even win at home, I don't think they're going to be able to travel up to Minnesota and take one away from the Vikings, because the Vikings have still been playing solid and winning games in spite of the fact that there are so many question marks at the quarterback position, because of the fact they have a good, complete, well-rounded roster and a very, very good defense that will keep them in any game. Moving right along, we got Sunday Night Football. It's another weird one. Like every game this week, Justin, I swear, every game this week is the weirdest possible thing. Who's playing quarterback for the 49ers? That's the first question here, is who's playing quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers?
It's going to be, well, then again, I don't know. Brock Purdy is still questionable with that toe, but his estimated return is supposed to be for this game. But he may not. He may get a setback. Mac Jones has, up until this last game, he's been playing pretty well. I don't think it's a question of the quarterback per se. I think it's the fact that they lost their star middle linebacker.
Fred Warner getting hurt is huge.
With a fractured and dislocated ankle. And I think that's what's going to be what does San Francisco in, because now you don't have your presence in the middle to defend against Bijan Robinson and that run game, or Bijan Robinson in the pass game. So give me Atlanta. I feel like this is going to be bad, and it's going to be bad for me because my dad's a San Francisco 49ers fan, and he's flying up after this week because we're going to the Giants and Niners game.
That suddenly is a very different vibe than when you were planning that at the start of the year with him.
All of a sudden, both of our teams are, I can't even say losing, because San Francisco's still leading the division at 4-2. I mean, they're tied with Seattle and the Rams. But this is a different 49ers team than what started the year, and this is a much different Giants team than what started the year.
They got that confidence. They've got that you don't know what you don't know kind of confidence that you can only find in a rookie running back and a rookie quarterback. But this is about the Falcons and the Niners, and I agree, this is going to be bad for San Francisco. It's going to be a shootout that they will not be able to keep pace with. Give me the Falcons. Give me Bijan Robinson for like 4 touchdowns. It's going to be brutal. Speaking of exciting football, Baker Mayfield is must-see TV. And thank goodness he's in primetime, because we have got Tampa Bay going into Detroit to take on Jared Goff, Dan Campbell, and that nasty Lions team that seems to be remembering just who they are. And then they go and do what they did last week.
I'm glad you said it before I did.
Like, what in the hell, Lions? Make up your mind. Are you? Aren't you? This is going to get real exhausting. They have an opportunity to kind of course correct here, but they have a horrible, horrible opponent to do it against, because not only do you have an MVP candidate who should be running away with the race right now in Baker Mayfield on the offensive side of the ball that you have to defend, but you got a Todd Bowles defense. Like, woof. It's not fun. Playing the Buccaneers is not an easy out, and playing the Lions, conversely, has not been an easy out before. But it feels like, as weird as it sounds, Tampa can out-tough the Lions in this game. Am I crazy for thinking that, Justin?
Listen, I'm going for the Bucs on this one, but it has a huge asterisk. It's one thing that Baker Mayfield is playing out of his mind. It's another thing that Todd Bowles will have a defense that will keep them in here. But I need to know who is going to make it to this game, because we talked about it. Ibuka's dealing with a hamstring injury. Godwin is likely going to be out this game. Evans is probably going to be out this game. Their depth chart and wide receiver is getting thinner and thinner. This might be a Tez Johnson game, if anything.
Let's go.
Even Bucky Irving is likely going to miss this.
No. Okay.
So it may come down to Todd Bowles' defense shutting down Detroit's offense, and then Baker Mayfield taking this whole thing on his shoulder. Do I think he can do it? Absolutely. That's why I'm still giving the nod to the Bucs, but I'm not sure of this one compared to the other two.
Give me the Lions. I think, number one, we've been unanimous on all the other ones, so I need to shake things up a little bit. But give me the Lions simply because I think that there's always a world where, Amon-Ra can go, and Jameson Williams can go, and Montgomery and Gibbs can go, and Laporta can go, and suddenly it's a shootout and you're down 30 points. And if you're in that scenario and you don't have Mike Evans, you don't have Chris Godwin, you don't have Emeka Egbuka, it becomes very, very hard, because this has been the theme of this episode. You need a complete team for complete team success. It's really, really hard for, as good as he's been playing, is really hard for Baker Mayfield to put the entire offense on his shoulders. Bucky Irving being hurt is even more. Like, that's just insult to injury, pun very much intended, because I call Bucky Irving barbed wire and broken glass. Like, that's just my nickname for him, because he runs every play like he's going through barbed wire and broken glass and doesn't give a rat's. So that tone setter not being there for the Buccaneers, potentially, I'm going to take the Lions, also with an asterisk, because hopefully some of these players will be able to go on Monday, not Sunday. They have a little bit of a longer week. They can do a little bit of rehab, recover, rest, and get themselves all set to do some practice, and be ready for the game. Anything else you want to talk about for the week that will be, or do you want to save it for the reaction episode?
I think I'll save it for the reaction. I think we're good on this one.
Bears and Saints is going to be an interesting one. Your Giants, who do your Giants have?
Denver.
Broncos. Oof. We literally talked about that.
4:00. One thing I do want to say about that game, because everybody is automatically giving it to Denver on this.
Defense is ridiculous.
Let's remember, Denver is flying back from London and then have to get ready for a essentially 1 p.m. game their time on Sunday. So there's a little fatigue that could happen on those flights too.
Is it morning or afternoon slate?
Afternoon slate, Eastern time.
Oh, gotcha.
It's 4:05.
Gotcha. Woof. That is not a fun ask for Denver right now, considering the fact that they're kind of flailing to stay above water when they had a lot higher of expectations, and the Giants are exceeding expectations by a wide margin. I'm excited to see it. This league year is so much fun. Like, we've been emphasizing it throughout this entire episode. this is a great year for football. Like, this is a great year for the NFL. And I cannot wait to see how it ends up shaking out. That is all we've got for you, though. That's been all of our Gridiron segment shenanigans. If you made it to the end of this video, that means you love football just as much as we do. So make sure you're subscribed and make sure you hit that like button because it helps us out so much, making sure that our videos get to football fans just like you. Until the next time, that's been Justin. This has been Kyle. This has been the Gridiron segment. You have been so great to hang out with. Peace.